This is DIY Salvation, and today I'm going to show you weasels how to build a stud wall. That's right, how to build a stud wall. Now let's get going. First thing we need to do is prepare our area. So we want the stud wall to be running down this here steel, coming down the steel, down the steel. It's going to come down here. And it's going to go up there. So what we're going to do first is we've got to take this plastic covering off the cable flooring. What does the plastic covering do? It protects the floor. That's right. Stops it getting waterproof. Keeps it waterproof. Stops it raining. When the roof leaks, keeps the floor dry. That's right. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Mark out our floor and cut it up. Take this gear off. Just get a scraper. Scrape the edges, then peel it back. Peel that bad boy back. Peel it back like a bad banana. That's it. And on the floor underneath, you got your chipboard. You take a scraper, scrape the excess glue off. There you go. So now, we've cleared our floor where we're going to put down the base plate of our stud wall. Next thing we need to do is mark it out. Okay, so now we've marked out our floor where we're going to put our stud wall. Now we've got to fix the base plate and make sure we are our heights of our studs. So let's see what that looks like now. So here's a little trick. We'll be building our stud wall out of the 4x2 like I showed you earlier. So one's going to be the base plate, one will be the head plate, like this. So what you do is you get two pieces of offcut, just put them down there. So one will be the head, one will be the sole plate. You pick up your stud, which is this, just rest that on there and see where it goes. See, it's a little bit short. These are 2.4, so it's a little bit short on the rafters there. So what we want to do is I want to build that up so it's where the floor isn't quite level. So if we put down this piece first, then we put our base plate on, it's the same thickness, and then that'll be the header. When we put our stud on, it'll just be big enough then. Just be big enough. So I might have to cut a little piece of each one of those, but that's what's good about it. That's why it's worth taking that extra time just to check that. Otherwise you'll have your... It's nice to cut pieces off because you don't want to be adding pieces on. So don't get the wood the exact measurement, always a little bit over for the ceiling running out or the floor running out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fix this base plate. Now what we've done is we've laid our base plate down where I want it. I've put a pencil mark on. Get your set square, which is here. There's another wall that'll be coming along here. So I've just set that out there because it's going to be nice and straight. It's going to be a nice long corridor. You can do it with a piece of string, put it down that end, hold it along here, hold it tight where it touches the wall. That's so it's nice and in line. So I've got this piece of wood here to represent the wall. You hold your set square there. Make sure it's square. Why do you want it square? We don't know no door going out to the side. We want it nice and square. Like this. That's where it's going to be. Then I get some glue, my glue gun, and I glue her up. You don't want the base plate going anywhere, so I glue and I screw. That's right. I glue it and I screw it. I screw it to the floor, and I glue it to the floor. That's right. Glue, screw. Huh. So now we glued it. And what I've done is, I've already marked the pencil line there. So I can flip this over like this. See down that end I've got a soil stack. I want to leave 12.5 millimeters at the side of it. So when we come to plasterboard, I could just slip a side there, because this side's going to be a bedroom. And when Mister's in this room and he drops a turd, we don't want him flushing the chain and him hearing the turd go down the pipe. So we want the plasterboard to go down the side. Make sure that's on a line. Pick it up. Move it to the line. Pick this bit up. Move it on the line. Make sure it's square. That's it. If it wasn't square, you'd had a gap up there or a gap there. You just move this piece in or out where it is. You only want it square this end. There's a good chance that wall there is not square. It should be, but it doesn't really matter about that. As long as this end is square, that end's measured off from that other stud wall anyway. Okay? Now we're going to fix it. Okay, now we've got that little filler piece down. See, our piece that we had down, the filler piece, wasn't quite long enough. It went to there, then we had to cut a little piece. So the next piece we put on top will bridge that gap. So we'll put a thick bit on, and then we'll put the cut. We'll transfer it down this end. So that way there's no rip joint, which would be a weak joint in the wall. Okay, so this piece here, there's no need to cut a little notch out and put it in. You could just put a butt joint in there. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That is mighty fine. That's a mighty fine piece. Make sure it's nice and straight. Then what you do is, you'll see, you can't see, but see where the wood's bent. So when we nail it one end, and then we pull it in, and we'll nail it straight as we go. Nail it one end, and bend it to follow the one underneath. So, we get the old nail gun, find the joist mark, which is there, follow it along, put one in, make sure, get the old mighty hammer, tap that over, make sure it's nice and flush, nailer, keep going along, it's good. It's better than walking on a summer's night. That's good. Last time I had this was fun. I was at a sweet shop. Another one there. Keep going. Another joist there, look. See, it's starting to come out there now, look, see? So we just pull it over a little bit and then give her a nail. Alright, I'm going to go all the way along here. See, we get down this end. See, it's all nice and straight. And where the wood's not straight, it's bending. So just push that in like that with your foot. Make sure it's flush. Find the nearest nail mark, which will be there. Throw the old nail gun in. Boom! There she goes. Find another one, nice and flush. Boom! One shot, one kill. There again. Boom! Then I'm running low. Have to reload. That's it. Now we cut this little piece. Remember, like I said, just butt it up. Okay, we cut a little piece of wood. Get that in there. That's it. Remember our 12mm gap there. So matey doesn't hear you sending a friend off to the coast. And he just nailed that bad boy down. Get one in there. One in there. Remember, what I want to tell you is, this is Dad DIY Salvation. We're not chippies. I'm showing you how to build a stud wall DIY style. Some people put the base plate down two bits thick, and then the head plate two bits thick. Doesn't need to be. That is to fix the skirting and for extra strength. This is fine. This is fine. DIY Salvation, yeah? Get the job done. Okay, let's nail this down. Alright, let me show you. What we can do here, because we're not butting it, like I said, we're not going to waste our time cutting a decent joint. Give that tappity tap. Fire. A couple of nails in there to keep that from slipping. Right, now that's done, what we're going to do now is we're going to put a stud up here of our wall. Okay, so we chopped our stud, we offer it up to make sure it fits. It's a good fit because we love sawing wood. What's the saying? Measure twice, cut once. That's right, measure twice, you cut once. I put a bit of glue down there, bit of grip fill, bit of building glue. And get it. Put that stud down there. Make sure she's sitting flush. Give it tappity tap tap. We'll find our level, which is in there. Okay, so we put this stud against the wall with the building glue. We get our level. When you level it, make sure the level was on the bottom of the sole plate, on the side of it, tap down there. See what I mean? Make sure the level is against the sole plate. Come up, hold it against the stud, and we level that till that bubble is in between the sticks. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm happy with that. You happy with that? Are you happy with that? I'm happy with that, man. Okay, that's done. Then, see where the blocks are in between the bedding. We fire a nail in. You can screw it or nail it. One nail in each block. We'll hold that. Now when you come down the bottom here, where that stud hits the sole plate, push the nail gun in, 45, send a couple home. So, we fitted our base plate, our first stud. Chopped off a bit of the top there, see? So we could take the header plate. Because this is Dad's DIY Salvation, we need to do things right. We need to get respect back in the family. We need to be respected for everything we build. So what we're going to do now is we're going to measure out ready for the plasterboard so we can fit our studs. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so then we get a stud. Place it over one of the 400 marks, which is down there. Make sure it's flush, both sides. Like so. pretty awkward doing this on my own. But as with dads, we do everything on our own because we don't like help. We like to struggle. Then you put your foot by it. You get your nail gun, put it on a 45. Blast it. Like so. Get the persuader. Just have a look at it. Make sure it's straightish. See, it's a little bit off there. Give it one of them. So what you're aiming for is that mark, your pencil mark that we marked, to be in the middle of the stud. That pencil mark in the middle of the stud. So when we plasterboard, we've got a good fixing. Then you get the headpiece, which is this dirty long piece. Get the wife to give you a hand if she's not painting her nails. As I'm Father Joe, I'd like to do this. I'd like to dedicate this headpiece to everybody that knows me. Okay, we lift it up, like so. Up. Make sure it's on there. You just lift it up and place it on. And that is it. Let me come over here. Get the old nail gun. And what we're going to do, you see now, that's the same height as that, like I said. If you haven't got that, it doesn't matter. You measure this. Always fit the sole plate first, then put this big bit on, the height of the ceiling, then get an offcut, put it on, mark it, and chop that off. That allows for this piece. I'll go back over that in a minute. And then we nail this through there, through there, through there too. If you can't get to it because you've glued this bit to the ceiling, glue this to the ceiling, and just fire some nails in just to hold it with some glue, and the studs will pinch it up nice and tight. Then we nail it through here or through here. Okay, so now we've got that down. Up. There's along. There's our two studs. We've fixed them at the bottom, but now we have to fix this bit. So what we do is you hold the level on the stud. Tap it over. Till it's level. We don't have to level it. Not level, it's called plumbing. We don't have to plumb it this way because at the moment that's not fixed. So long as it's flush with that and flush with the bit at the bottom. There's a wild dog here, man. Who let the dog in? And then what we do is now just nail it from the top, or if not, through the side, through the side, through the side. Someone's left the hound in. So, let's continue what we've learned. Yeah. So what we've got is, we've plumbed this one. Plumb. It's plumb because we've got no oranges. And this is the second one. We've plumbed it because we've got no oranges and we've nailed it at the top. You see it's still wobbling. So now what we do, each one of these pencil marks is going to be a stud. We just leave this bit of the wall for the moment. See the overhang? We'll just leave that at the moment. We'll infill. Now the best and quickest way to do this is, because we're dads, we don't like to use tape measures. So, this is the best way to do it. Put that where a line would be, there. Lift it up. Get your child's pencil. See, just hold that up to there. Doesn't have to be plumb. But obviously don't make it look like a sailor falling off a boat. Stand on your tiptoes. Mark it. That's how much needs to come off. Yeah? You want it quite tight fit. So when you put it in at an angle and then you hammer it in. So let's go and chop this bad boy. Okay, there's a couple of studs in. This is what sort of fitness it should be. See that? Nice and tight. See? Then you hold your level up there. Get it plumb. Never bash your level. Okay? Never, ever, ever bash your level. I don't want to catch any of you doing that. Do you understand? Yeah, disgusting lot. Okay, and then nail. Done them ones. So we've got those in. We're working our way along. Got those two in. We're filling in the wall. Okay? We're filling it in. They're called studs. Studs. Yeah? Alright, it's been a few days off. Let's get back onto the job. Fathers, we've got to fit it in when we can, haven't we? DIY work. The job of a father's never finished. So let's have a look. Where were we on the job? Let's crack on. So, we've done our stud work. We've got our base plate down. Got our studs in. Got our head plate in. Got to do this end bit now. See? This bit. Where it joins. So we connect this stud here, nail it in. Our whole wall is still loose. So I'll cut this bit. What we do is just measure this bit to there and put a couple of inches on, which is this. So that'll go in there like that. I'm going to fire a couple of nails in there and I'm going to nail that, and we'll leave an overhang. And the reason why we leave an overhang is because then we can saw it off at the end when we've plumbed it up. So let's do this now. Okay, now we nailed this stud in here. See what I mean with the overhang? Just nail this piece straight through here, leave the overhang. What we could do is run a handsaw, cut that flush a minute. See where we've got this bit and it's not level? We just get a bit of offcut. We're going to nail that to there, like that. So we're going to nail that up like that. Then, as this wall is like this, we measure from this rafter to this rafter, which is this piece of wood. And then we're going to put this piece in there, like that, nail that in, and then we're going to nail our wall to it, and that'll stop that moving. And we'll cut those in all the way down there, just space them out, no specific space, and that'll stop our wall from moving. So let's do this now. Okay, so now we've got to put it in the noggins. So what we do is we split the wall into there must be a measurement, but I don't know what it is, so I'm making it up. I always put in two. I put one there, just sort of space it out, and then I put one there, sort of even Stevens. To get your level, put your level in there, make sure you get it level like that. Draw a line across the top of the level, and then where it stops and you move it along, always allow two studs there to there, and then level it again. Because what happens is if you just put it on the one mark, you could go off at a slight angle. Yeah? So always give yourself two marks and then level it again. Do your straight line all the way along. If you think you're Clint Eastwood, you could do a level mark there, bang a little nail in, come down here with a chalk line, put your chalk line up there, pull it along, eye it along with a line, hold it and then ping it, and that'll give you a nice chalk line along. That's what I usually do, but mine's in the van, and me being a young old chicken, I'm not going to bother to go down and get it. We've got a stud here, that a noggin here I've cut. You measure from there to there. Always start one end, doesn't matter what end, if you start high or low. Get it nice and tight. You want a tight fitting like that. That's the sort of fitting you want. See, like that. If it's too, it doesn't matter if it's slack, but you want it just to hold. If it's too tight, what will happen is you'll hammer them down and you start bending the studs. The studs will start bowing out and it'll go up like a banana. Doesn't matter, but when you come to plasterboard, you'll find the plasterboard won't be sitting nicely in the middle of the stud. Okay. So now, how do you nail this? Let me hear you say. How do we nail this? Say, Papa John, how do we nail this? What's that I hear you cry? Papa John, how do we nail this? Thanks for asking. Put one through here, one through here. Then you can go through here, or under here at an angle, or down there at an angle. So let's do this bad boy now. One thing I want to show you, so I've nailed this there and tacked it through there. But there is flush, but when you come around this side, this is the, see that? It's sticking out a little bit. Now when we plasterboard that, listen, that's not good. So Kate, take the persuader and just bash that bad boy in. See? So it's flush. Now you say, what if it sticks out this side? Let's have a look. So you sort of just even it up, because they're not going to be bang on, because all the wood's got a bit of difference tolerance. But just make it evenly spaced. Don't have a big lump like that, because when you plasterboard it, it's going to go over. So just do the best you can with that. Okay, now we're going to cut this piece. Okay, so what we do now is, instead of measuring each one, what I do is just get your offcuts, hold it up like that to where it's going to be, and then hold it up like that, and then scribe a line down there and chop it, and that should be that. That way you don't have to keep measuring everything. So this is the one I just marked with a pencil. Hold that in there. See, that's a good fit. Now, there might be some Papa Johns out there, dads, that are perverts with a tape measure, and everything has to be measured, and I gotta get it right. I can't be a couple millimeter out. I can't sleep. I can't sleep at night. If I don't tape measure that, how do I know it's the right measurement? I got a degree in maths. I'm accountant for a living, and I gotta build my stud wall. I can't pay a chippy. So that's a good fit. So now what you can do is you can nail it like that to keep it straight, but you're not going to see these, and it's a pain in the arse. Now if you were to do it like that, if I can get that to balance, you would nail it through there, and in that one just through there. But it takes more time and it's just really not worth it. So the easiest way of doing it is just dropping that like that. Have that one. You don't have to draw, you can draw another line if you want. I just do it by eye. So you'd put it off center. I show it so it goes like this. This is the way I do it. It's fast. We've got to think of speed. When it doesn't matter if you want to go up or down, doesn't matter, as long as they're staggered. It's just a lot faster and easier, especially if you're screwing it in with the old screwy Louie. Yeah? Yeah? Huh? Yeah? Yeah? Screwy Louie? Yeah? Screw. Bang, bang, nail, nail. Yeah? Okay. So there you have it. So I've gone down, up. So where would this one go? Down, up. Where would this one go? Down, up. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. Up, down. So when you've done that, just give it a little tap. And then you always give it one here to make sure it's pinched nice and tight. Take your aggression out on it. Yeah. Think about the boss at work when you hit that there. Just think about the boss at work. Yeah, beat it. Think about all that overtime. Think about the chippy who would want £250 a day to do this. And you're doing it weekends. You could spend more money on the swimming pool that you're going to build the hot tub in the summer. Okay, let's do this one. Let's keep going. So I'm going to quickly fire that top row in, and then I'll have a cup of tea and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is it, we're done. So this is the time we jump up. If you've got friends, being a dad, you can jump up, give them a hook in the chest, high five, yeah, we done it, man. If you're a yank, you go, ha ha, hell yeah, we done it. I didn't have to pay a chippy, nothing. I did it myself. I watched a video on YouTube, got a hammer, I did it myself. Then invite everyone around from a party and tell them about what stud wall you built. Yeah? So let's have a look, see how we done it. So there we go. Here's our wall. Done the noggins. See the noggins up and down. Up! Down! Up! It's like being in the army when you're doing push-ups. Up! Down the noggin. Up! The noggin. Down the noggin. Hold! See? All starts off at the first one. Wherever you put the first one to the pencil mark, the next one goes up or down. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. That's right. And there's that one there. Same. All the way along. Now what I'll show you later, what we haven't done, see we've got a join here. This is on the sole plate. Bit later on, we'll come along and we put a piece in here, a noggin in here, nail it through there, down, down, just to keep that plate solid. So that'll be going, just to hold, it's not going anywhere. I mean, look how big, look how tough. That's tough, that's strong. Mighty strong, it's like a mud wrestler. That's tough. There's the wall. Now, what I did was here, this end one, was a little bit big. It was it was over the 400. So that's fine. See the little, doesn't matter because it's the end of the run. So wherever the sheet, the plasterboard will come, and then you just have an offcut running up. and then it'll noggin in again, just to hold it nice and solid. Now what I need to do is join this wall up with that wall, and we're going to have a doorway in the middle. So we're going to do this now. It's going to be a little bit hard holding the camera as well. So on this one, see, we've got a wall coming off there. So I've measured that distance there. I'm going to take it down. Which will be there. That's about it. Right. Get my pencil. So we put a piece of wood down here to represent a wall going all the way along, but there's going to be a door cut. So we put the line down, we draw our pencil mark all the way down there, or you could put a string up. We're using a piece of wood. I've transferred that measurement off that other wall to here, which is that measurement there. Then I want my door opening. Now, we move that to there. Get the line, put the tape measure straight. Now this is what you must remember. I'll show you now. Get some offcuts. So that's going to be our door opening. So this wood, if it was a sole plate, would be cut. That wall will be going up there, yeah? Then, so the door we're going to put in, which is that big, which is just under 840, yeah? So that's the actual door, the size of the door. Then we need to allow for a door frame. Now a door frame is 1 inch thick. So because it's 1 inch thick, there needs to be a door frame there and a door frame here. So we need to add another 2 inches, which is there, which is 35, which is 890. So 890, that's our open. That will go there, like that. So now I measure what that is there to there and chop. Measure that to there and chop, but then that's our base plate. So I'll do that now and show you. What you must remember when you're doing your door opening is add 2 inches for your door frame. And don't forget the stud. The stud needs to sit on the sole plate. Doesn't matter if you've got long enough bits, you could just nail that to it. So just say you cut it too short, you can put a stud up like that and nail it. Okay, if you've got some 3 meter bits, these are 2.4, so I have to fit it on top. So I'll show you how it works now. Okay, so we've cut our piece of wood here. So you make sure it's flush with the end of the wall we've done. You see, what we could have done, this wall, we could have extended out here, yeah, then had this wall butted up to it. It doesn't really matter, but we've just done it this way. Finished our wall there and brought that wall across. This is how you do a corner. A corner does, each way you use 3 studs. So we'll do that in a minute. So we've drawn our pencil line, we've come along. We check out, this is where our door's going to be. There, that's the opening. So we check our opening. So we put our tape measure in, slide it down. To save time, I've measured it. See, it says, see the 35 inches there's marked. That's the size of my door, which is 890 is my door opening. That's good. Check it, check it, check it. Yep. That's good, nice and butt. Now, like I said, the rafters are going this way, but the floor joists are going that way. So now this piece of wood is in between. There's a floor joist there and a floor joist there. There's nothing there to nail to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it like we did before. I'm going to glue it, put a glue there, then flip it over, and these screws go straight through. Screw it. Doesn't matter what size screws. I got these, it'll just go through that and then screw into the floorboard, and that'll hold it. These ones are 60 times 70, so the 6 is the thickness of the screw. The 6 is the thickness, and the 70 is the length. I got the 70, that's a good length. You might end up with a bit coming through underneath, but there's nothing underneath at the moment. But if there was pipes, say if this was an original floor, there might be pipes under there, cables. We don't want a massive long screw going through straight into a pipe, because then Papa John's going to have a busy weekend fixing pipes. So try and just hit the floorboard. That's perfect. So let's glue and screw this. You can use something like this, screw fix, no nonsense, grab, something like that. Never get a little thing for you, solvent free. Solvent free is absolutely rubbish. Always use solvent. We don't want to come back because it's unstuck. So we've got a stud here, and then we put one the other end. We've nailed it to our sole plate, but how do you know the height of that? So what you do is you get your tape, put it on the sole plate. I'm going up to this rafter here. Now that is 8 foot, which is 2.4. 2.4 there. Now what you do is at 2.4, now I need a header on that. So don't forget, we're going to put this up there, in between there like that. That's going to run all the way along. So what we do is we get our measurement, whatever that measurement was, measure it up. Now as it happens, this is bang on 2.4 because I put that little bit underneath. But just say this was 260, what you do is you measure your 2.4 out, and you put that piece of wood up, and you cut that off to allow for that header, for that head piece, the head plate. Then you chop it, that'll give you length. So what I've done is, put one here, and I put one here. Because Dad's, we work on our own, but I've got my cameraman with me now. So I've got one here, one here. Now I get a big long piece of wood because we don't really want to join over the door. I measure this. I get a big piece of wood, I chop it and I put it up. Keep the scrap for your noggins. This will be a header piece. Now what I did was I just measured the floor, like we did before, add a little bit on, a couple of inch overhang. If you remember, we did the same thing here. Up here, look. We added the overhang because when we put this last stud up, we don't want to cut it too short. So we have an overhang, same thing here. I'm going to get up there now, cut this flush with that, so then that header will run straight through, and then we can cut it off in a minute. Okay, bro. Now remember, when you're cutting, let the saw do the work. I've got glasses on because I like my eyes. Don't be a hero. Always wear glasses. Now you see I hit a hit a nail there, so I changed the good saw for the old saw, because we don't really want to keep changing saws, do we? Because dads, we don't have a lot of money. Two hands! Think about the apparatus and Hannibal. Why does BA always drive the van? I don't know. What does a Murdoch ever drive? Okay. Well, so here's the headpiece. This is what you do. Lift it up. This has to be one solid piece. If you put a join in it, you'll have to join over that end. So we lift it up, we get it somewhere near, and then we get down that end and we do tap tap. Watch this. See, because Papa John, you always work on your own, because your mates are down to play cards. Extend this. Hit her in. Make sure no one's underneath. See that? Then when you now hammer it up, pinch it tight. That's exactly what you want. Give it another little tap that end. Tap, tap, tappity tap. Remember, when you're beating it, always think, pretty hard. You can spit on your food. Alrighty. And when we got that in, just get the old nail gun or your screws and fire it. Screw it, nail it. That's your headpiece in. Then we start infilling with the studs. Let's do it. I want to show you a few tricks. As Papa John, we always work on our own. This is the door side. Now you see this is cut a little bit too small. It should be tapped in there nice, yeah? Nice and tight. So there's a couple of ways. How are you going to plumb that? How can I plumb that and nail it? So there's a couple of ways you can get it. First of all, we nail it at the bottom. Right? We get it to the side where we want it. There. Don't forget we can hammer it around after. Get it on the edge. Remember, if you're screwing, you go through the side that way. When you nail it, you see it knocks it in. What you do is you poke it back out, flush, because this is our door side. We want to make sure it's plumb. So hang on a minute, this is all wobbly. How can I do this? So, there's a couple of ways. Get that in, and you can wedge the level up, and it stops it. Or get it plumb, like that. You get your pencil, put your mark on there. When it's plumb, when you move your level and it's moving, you can just tap it to the line, hold it, nail gun up. See, you can nail it from the top, you can nail it through at an angle, this way, you could nail it this way. Or you can nail it on the head. doesn't really matter where, it only needs two nails in. If you nail it there, put two in, one there, or two there, or two at the top. Then that should be plumb. So if you cut it really short, where I'll put the pencil line, hold it up, put your pencil line, then get a nail, put the nail up, bang it up, a nail half in like this, then rest the stud against it, and then nail it or screw it, and then take the nail out, that'll hold that. Okay? Trick of the trade. When you're ready. Okay, so now, what's the point of building a stud wall and dividing a 2-bedroomed house into a 5-bedroomed house if you can't get into the room? So this is how we do the door. We've done a stud wall. Here's our opening. We've got the width. How do you do the height? Measure this. Here's our bit. There, pre-cut. That's what I like to do. I like to cut. Then we need to measure our height. Now the height of our door, you just shine it on here. The height of our door is 201. Then we've got to allow an inch for the door frame. And then, because we've got the header of the door frame, and then we've got to allow for another 5mm or 10mm because we don't want to fit a new door, and then because of the carpet 10mm or the laminate flooring, you've got to take the door off and shave a bit off. So lift the door up. So what we do is we mark the door. I just mark it one side, the height. Then you get a level that reaches. Put it on one side, then the other. Level it across. So, get the old nail cut. Get that up there. Pop, pop. Tap. Tap. This one on there. That is our door. Now, check it. Get your little level, put it on top. If it needs any persuading, just bang, bang, tap, tap. Now, because that's in there like that, we need to put two pieces in. This side, and one in the middle. That stops the door from twisting. Let's just hold that up. Draw the line. You work that. Okay, good. This is the corner. Come around this side to see. So although that top piece, we measured the bottom, and we added on 2 inches. Look, you see, it's only overhanging about 10mm. Unless you get someone to hold the tape, then you're going to be out. Always overhang it so you can cut it off, because that would have been too short. So this is our piece. Every time you do a corner, it's going to take 3 bits. So just stop the wall. So we stop that one there. This one round there. The stud wants to stop like this. This one's going to go in here, like this. Get the old level. Always nail it at the bottom. That one's going to go there. Tap, tap. Plumber up, you don't have to really, you just follow that stud. But as the wood's all warped and bent, like this piece, about there. Then we nail that. That's good low! Alright, I'm going up top! Alright, John! I got you back! Final! Final! So we nail it there. So it's nailed top and bottom. Now we want to nail the walls together. So where that's come like this, see where that's not quite there because of the timber's bent, warped. You pull that out. And then you put one in here to catch that. That will hold Bertie together. That gives Bertie all the strength of a good corner. Then that overhang you cut off with a saw. This here, we want a bit of forcing. We get our offcuts because we always keep our offcuts. That should just fit in there nicely. See that? So we get some bits. We nail them all the way up. I'll do that now and then we'll come back. Oh yeah, this is our corner. So it's nice and it's always 3 bits, 3 studs. Easiest way to remember is wherever the wall stops, the stud goes. So we stop there, that one goes to there. Then in 400 you leave your little spacer, stud in the middle, enough for the gap, and the other stud. Now we've infilled it as you can see. Nail it there, 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 each side. Hold the corner, then we come around here and we nail this to the spacer. And that all, because it's the corners, or for those bricklayers out there, coins are the toughest part of the building. Now this is what I want to show you. This is why when you're doing a stud, so when we plasterboard this, we plasterboard it here and we screw it to this. Then we plasterboard this and we screw it to this. Now if we didn't do that infill bit, so this is what, if we didn't do that infill bit, we would end it up like this. So that would be like that, and this would go there. And what happens is, this will be plasterboard and it will go there, this bit of plasterboard will be flapping. So you want to move this stud out. Which we can do because this wall was built first. This wall came up to it like that. Then the next bit for this wall was there, because that's the end of the wall. Then you leave enough gap for your infill, and then the other stud for the corner. Do each wall individually, don't try and run a wall in. Stop the wall with the stud, run that one through with the stud, then bring. You always must remember this, you've got to have a fix in there and there for the plasterboard, otherwise what happens is, it'll be like that, you have a stud there, this one will be like that, and this one won't have anywhere to plasterboard, or this one won't, and you end up putting noggins in after, because you've done it wrong. Plus there's a lot of strength in that corner, corners there needs to be straight. Now if you look at the top, you see I've done the top of the door. That's all done, so this is our header. This wall here, if you come around here you see this wall here, you see where it's joined in, done the same thing, look. See, we joined it at the bottom here with a piece, nail. This is our stud, this wall stops here. We now put the piece in, this wall's nailed to this, nailed to this, nailed to this. That's not going anywhere. That's all solid. Now all we've got to do is our noggins. And then we've got a room. Alright, this is it, we're done. That's taken 2 evenings, yeah? When you finish it, always do a jig. Always do the jig when you finish, yeah? That's what Papa John does. Stud wall. Head plate, sole plate, noggin, stud, yeah? Head plate, sole plate, noggin, stud. Easy. What did we do? We put down the base plate, mark your 400 centres, sideways that way, drill it, nail it to the joists, or if it's in a house you've got carpet, you can go straight on top of the carpet if you want, or cut a strip out the carpet. Only get enough screws though when the base plate, so the screw goes through there and through the 18mm or 22mm chipboard. Don't go any more than that, in case there's a pipe or electric underneath it. Then we put up the header plate, nice big long bit. We had to put the braces in to hold it because it moved. Solid that bad boy is, yeah? Not moving anywhere. The studs of the wall, you can glue and screw and nail. You don't have to worry about wall plugs and all that crap. Us being dads, we haven't got time for drills and all that. We like to nail, we like to hammer, yeah, and we like to screw. We don't mess around with drilling and plugging. Don't need to. Look how tough that is, yeah? So that's that. Again, we put the long piece at the bottom. We had to put the packer piece in because the studs weren't long enough. If you haven't got a clue, just get 3 meters and then cut it down. You'll have more than a length. You won't have to mess around with that, depending on your ceiling. Wherever you have a join, you don't have 2 joins like that because it puts a weakness in the wall. You always stagger it. So we've got a join down that end and we've got a join down this end. So the head plate's got to join, the sole plate's got to join, but it's at different ends. Don't forget the corners. You stop the wall with a stud, you start the next wall with a stud, then you put one piece in and then that piece so we can get the plasterboard on. Here we go, nice and solid. Got all the noggins here. Remember, up, down, up, down. You don't have to, but it makes it easier to hammer in or screw in instead of going diagonals. This is our door. Remember to allow 1 inch each side of the door frame, 1 inch on the top, and the 10mm. So you can run that on top of the plate or down the side of the plate. It's up to you. Doesn't matter. As long as you get the width. Remember your bracings on the top of the stud. That stops it flexing. Some people double these up. Us being Papa John's, we don't have to, because that's more than solid. If you come around here, I'll show you what I mean about plasterboarding. Just make sure the stud is like this so we can get a plasterboard fixing on. Like this side, look. Plasterboard fixing. See? We can get plasterboard there, we can get plasterboard there. It's not a problem. Same thing, little gap in the middle. Nice, solid. Good. Now it's done. To be sure, get the Führer up here. Get this right Führer and she'll tell you if you've done a good job. Remember, do it right. Papa John says, yeehaw! Alright, Mr. C says, I ain't getting on no plane, Hannibal. Okay, so now we've got our piece of wood down with our opening there. Now we have to mark our studs. So we're going to have one there. So from the end of there, 400. So you mark the top and mark down. You see the top, so we could know to put the stud on top of it, and then down, so we can see when we're banging it about. 400, 800. And this is the key one, the 120. That has to be 120 because that is the width of the plasterboard. Then another 400 And on this case we managed to fit another 400. Now that's our studs. So now we leave that overhang, and I'll show you how we fill that in a minute, but let's get some studs on. What's that I heard you talking about my mama? My mama's fine. She smells like roses. Okay, now we've done a tabbly tap tap. Let's have a look, see what's happening, yeah? So, here's our wall, this is what it looks like now. We've done our little piece there to hold that end bit nice and tight. It's just got a bit of movement still. Only a little slight wobble. But as we dance, we don't care about that, because we've got to put some more braces in. Got one there, one up there, look, see? Wall's nice and tight now. Yeah? She's tighter than a Scotsman's wallet. She's so tight, when she bends down, she farts. That's nice. Okay, so there's our wall. Now what we've got to do is the infill bit. So we've got to put a thing called noggins in between the studs. Now why we do that is to stop this flexing. See, it flexes? So we put noggins in between there. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay? I need something to point with. My mama said it was rude to point, but I need a pointer. Now here we go. Now see this bit here. Say you're doing this in your upstairs kitchen in your house. You'd have your ceiling. So what you do is, when your ceiling's here, this piece of wood, just glue your glue, your man glue, glue your daddy glue on top of that. Push it up onto the ceiling. Try and find these where these go. If they run that way, get a nail or a screw in between there to hold it. But if it was like this, say your ceiling's plasterboarded and there's nowhere to nail it, glue that up to the ceiling. Yeah? Then knock these in, pinch them tight up. Let it dry, and if that's still got, by the time it's all plasterboarded and plastered, it's not going to move. But if it does move, what you've got to do is, little trick, smash a hole in the ceiling here, poke your head up and put this reinforcing bar in. So smash a hole in here, get up there, put this bit of wood in, nail it to it, then go along. You only need two. Smash another hole, get up there. A lot of people smash holes there and it gets fiddly, they can't get in, then got to smash another one. So you're better off smashing one away from the wall so you can get up and get in there. Okay, then you can nail it to it. But I've never done that, being a dad. I just glue it up there, and that's mighty fine, because usually I got to get to the pub, get to the football field, get to gymnastics, cook the dinner, look after the baby, change the nappy, say hello to my wife, do the cooking, wash the car, cut the grass. Got too much to do. Okay, let's do these noggins now. I'll show you what the crack is there. Okay, so now what we've done is we've cut this piece here, measured it, we've nailed it from that side, we've nailed it from here. Make sure it's the top of the header plate, nice and tight. Then you hold your level on the wall and you beat the wall around till that's level. Now that's plumb, as plumb as can be. Do you see that? See that side of the level there is plumb, banging the sticks. Yeah, and if I turn that round, see that bit there is showing it hard against the stick. And that's because there's only one true face to a level, and that's this face. So find your face at the level and always use the right face. Now this is the back of the level, so it's right, and that's plumb. That's plumb. So because that's fixed, I fire a nail in there, one in there. That'll hold the old wall, look, holding it solid already. So it's got a bit of wibble down there. But we'll put a few more of these brackets, these up here, space them along there, and that'll hold that wall nice and tight. Then when we've done that, we get this bit and we put that in there and we nail it here, here, and then through that stud. That'll hold this piece of wall nice and tight. So let's do this. So this is what we do. We put this tape measure to the first stud, then we measure along 400, which is there. Every 400 we're going to have a stud. Then we measure another 400, which is 800, which is there. Then we measure along, and a sheet of plasterboard is 120, which is there, 1200. Now this is the most important one. Because we're dads, we're tight as arseholes, so we want to be cheap on plasterboard. Then what I want to do is just slide that along, lock that at your 120, slide the tape along, put it on that mark. That mark is the center of our studs. Okay, then we mark out our 120 again. 400. What's the next one? 180. What's the next one? That's right, my Joe, you got it. You got it. Then we move the tape measure along, because we're dads, we're not mathematicians. If we were mathematicians, you could just keep going, but then you'd be on countdown, and you wouldn't be building your own stone wall. We come along, 400. All right, now we're cooking. There's 800. What's the next one? 100. No. 120. That's right. That's a sheet of plasterboard, or as the Yanks like to call it, rock wool. I'm building rock wool wall. Okay. Keep that in the center. Then we mark our studs again. 400, 800, 120. Then we come to this little bit here, yeah? So what have we got here? So what we'll do is from there you measure 400. Which is there, and we measure the 400 for that stripe. Then it's not 400, but it doesn't matter. The next one will be on the end there. Okay. So that's that, but when you get your stud, pretend this is our stud, and we put it on, you're not going to see the mark, are you? You see, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the studs up, you're not going to see the mark. So straddle the wall like you're going to ride your Harley Davidson, because we're dads, and we just mark down the face. So when we put it on, we can see it. See that? You need to mark the top and the bottom. If you just mark the side, you're not going to see it when you're looking on top of it. Do you understand? If you do understand, just say hallelujah. Hallelujah! Alright! Okay now, I got you. I've got a pencil. If you haven't got a pencil, go to your child's school bag, get all their HP8s out, which they do their artwork with. You bought them anyway, you're entitled to use them, and say, Papa John is going to use that pencil because I got to mark my salt plate. That's right. That's right. I'm doing DIY. Get out the house. Last one. Good. Okay. So now we've got, where is it? One stud against the wall. Got the base plate down. Now we need to fit another stud. I'll show you how this works. We get a stud and we fit it up. Clickety click, and we're back. This is what we're going to do now, is we're going to fix a stud to get our ceiling height of our wall. We want our wall height, okay? So we want to meet our roof joists, which are here. Look, I'll show you. These. So this is our stud. So we put our stud on the top of that sole plate down there. Like that. We just throw it up the wall. Now this is going to be our height. So what we want to do is we need to cut that there. Because that is where our piece of wood's going to come out. We're going to have a piece of wood which will be the header piece. Like we put the sole piece down there, we'll have a header piece running along the top here. That'll be the top of our stud wall. And that is the same thickness as this here, which is called the roof plate. That's right, for you perverts out there that like to know the names. This is called a roof plate. Yeah, that's right, the roof is fixed to the roof plate. And that is going to be the top of our wall. So we mark that, we chop that, then we fit that. Okay, now we put it down. We get the almighty nail gun. See where the nail marks are? There's a nail mark there. Nail mark there. Every 600 or 400 on the floor, there'll be a nail mark. So what you want to do is get your nail gun. Every time you see a you're nailing that straight to the joist beneath. We don't want our wall slipping anywhere.